This episode of the Traveling Epicurean was made possible by these sponsors.
Michel here with the Traveling Epicurean. Tonight is very exciting because I'm at the Madison Racket and Swim Club and we have the Mixed Doubles Social. Say hello everybody.
Hello everybody.
And we're doing an appetizer competition and we're having some beverages, right?
Right.
Yeah, some good beverages. So stay tuned and we'll let you know who wins this appetizer special. And we're going to go play some tennis now. Of course, I'm not playing tennis. You guys are playing tennis. Okay, take it. Okay. There's these amazing appetizers that everybody has brought here tonight. Really yummy. The competition is about to begin. So were you able to play? You were just thinking about the appetizers, getting back to them, or were you concentrating and focusing on hitting?
I was trying to play.
You did actually a great job.
Thank you.
There's some nice points there. And why didn't you play? You were gonna get out there, no?
No.
No, you're just here for the appetizers.
Yes.
And the strawberry vodka.
The strawberry vodka. Yes.
Strawberry vodka. Anything to go with that strawberry vodka?
Yes. Ice.
Ice is good.
It's my favorite mixer.
Well, you're one of the biggest foodies I know, and I wouldn't expect anything less from you.
Yeah, you know, I like feeding people and making them happy.
So do we have a ballot box for this competition?
Well, there is something up on the counter where people can write their name and what their favorite thing was.
Okay.
And you got some really nice prizes.
I know, I
for
saw that over
everybody.
here. So what is this pizza here, Rick?
That's it's onions and Gorgonzola cheese.
Okay.
One of my favorite pizzas. Patty Goldfeder made it.
Ooh, I
This
love
is
this.
Patty's husband right here, Rich. Who
I know,
met
Rich
earlier
keeps
with
trying to
the
hide from the
sailboard,
camera. And there's my pesto appetizer.
Which was
Rich's
very good, by the way.
cheese board. I love this cheese board here, Rich. And then here's your pizza, Rick. That's
is.
really delicious.
Oh, thank you.
So you have a margarita and a pepperoni. Looks like the pepperoni has already disappeared.
It does.
Yummy. And then there's some great cookies
Nicki Goldfeder made
and
the
some
cookies.
delicious wine. I'll have to grab a couple of those cookies for the kids.
Beautiful appetizer over here.
And then there's the gifts for the first and second place winners. William Sonoma, of course. And that's your other appetizer?
That's the raspberry.
The strawberry vodka?
I can't turn my head to look over there.
That's okay, you don't need to. Another vodka, you won't feel a thing.
Yeah, right.
Secrets here. Cindy, we're going to get it out of you. Who
And you're second.
No.
1 and 2. Yeah, you need 1 and 2.
So I need to get your husband's recipe for those spinach balls. Is that what he calls them?
That's what he calls them. I made him
And
today.
then that's tzatziki he serves them with, right?
What's that?
Tzatziki?
Yep.
That's absolutely delicious.
Yep. I don't cook. You know I got thrown out of the kitchen.
You don't cook?
No, second year of marriage got thrown out of the kitchen.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Oh yeah, first year of marriage got thrown out shopping for
I
food.
didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He loves. Here's the difference between people who cook because they have to cook, and people who love to cook.
Yes.
Like daily go to the store, find the foods, find the recipe, or that's his thing.
Well,
Two big fruities.
we're talking about the football game from last week.
Oh yeah, Sandeep had all that incredible food.
Yes, a lot of food.
A lot
It
of
was really
food.
good too.
That sounds good. But next time you need to send out a mass text so the rest of us can come and indulge.
You know what? We had enough food probably to feed 30 people.
Feed many people.
Yes.
All right, well, we're going to take you up on that next time. You did have amazing spinach balls there.
Thank you.
Those are moist and
You
delicious and
guys
so
are my guinea
flavorful.
pigs here today. Never made it before.
And that tzatziki, you never made this before?
No.
Are you kidding?
No,
So where did you get the recipe?
I just online Google. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I'll show you.
Well,
I'll show
you
the
executed it though.
I'll show you
Not
the website.
everybody can execute those like you did.
Thank you.
Very nice. And I like that tzatziki too.
Yeah, I love it too.
Yeah.
Come on.
The boss has
Well,
a
but
purpose.
you're
Okay.
not the only one that has a name on the shirt top.
Yeah,
we
but that
need,
doesn't matter.
yeah, no, we need to see that.
Oh, I like it.
Don't make
right
me hurt
here.
my elbow.
Yeah, you go right there. I like it right there.
It's been a very fun night. Thank you so much for watching The Traveling Epicurean. You can find the recipe for the winning dish here tonight at my website at travelingepicurean.com. I can't wait to see you guys next week. Ciao!
Ciao! So recipe, I guess that means strawberry pie.
Thank you for watching The Traveling Epicurean. A special thanks to
Hi guys, Michelle here. Welcome back to The Traveling Epicurean. So this is an authentic sombrero and I thought it was appropriate because I'm going to show you how to make ceviche. Shrimp and scallop ceviche. And we don't do any cooking. The scallops and the shrimp are going to cook in the refrigerator in lime juice. So easy. And while that's in the refrigerator, we're going to prepare everything else. Why don't you come on over here and I'll show you what we're going to need to get this going. So this is what we're gonna need to get our shrimp and scallop ceviche going. I have a half a pound of shrimp. I have a 1/4 pound of sea scallops. We have a half a cup of lime juice. I have more limes for our salsa. We have blue chips. You can use whatever chips you like. We like the blue. I have a half a cup of Vidalia onion, finely chopped, cilantro, mango, and cucumber. I have a 1/3 of a cup of tomato and avocado, and I have 1 whole jalapeno that's finely diced. We're gonna need olive oil and seasoned rice wine vinegar and salt and pepper and a little bit of sriracha. All right, let's get the lime juice on our fish and get that cooking. We don't want the dicing to be too large on the the shrimp and the scallops because this is going to be a salsa and we're eating it with chips. But we do want it a little bit larger so it stands out. And then if you see this muscle on the scallop here, we're going to peel that off. This is a side muscle that's very tough. We don't want to eat that. So I'm going to slice this scallop in half. And then I'm going to slice it down the center. Just like that. So we have the scallop cubed up. Remember to take the muscle off. We're going to do that on all of them. This one there is no muscle. These scallops smell like the ocean. Oh my gosh, they smell so incredible. Look at the color of that. Isn't that beautiful? So we'll just slice it down the middle, just like that. So this is all cut up. I'm going to add it back to our bowl here. And our scallops. And we're just going to pour the lime juice right on top there. Look at that. Is that beautiful? Here, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a stir with a spoon. And then this is going to cook in the refrigerator while we get the rest of our salsa items together. Oh my goodness. It smells heavenly. You can smell the limes. Scallops have that wonderful sea aroma. Really beautiful. All right. I'm going to cover this up, put it into the refrigerator, drain this, and then add it to our salsa. And then I pulled the shrimp and the scallops out of the refrigerator. They're looking really beautiful. I'm going to drain this juice in a minute, but for right now, we're going to start adding the olive oil, some more lime juice to our salsa ingredients. It's going to be so delicious. And then we'll stir that. We'll add in our shrimp and scallops and then toss the whole thing. And then we're going to have it with some blue chips. And I may have to put this sombrero back on just to get festive. All right, so here we go. Let's roll our limes here. It really helps to roll them to loosen up the juices in there. I'm also going to put in juice from lemon as well. And really cup your hands or just put it through a strainer to make sure you don't get those seeds in there, because that's a nightmare. Right. So it looks really pretty. I'm going to drain the juice from the fish and then we're going to toss it onto our salsa. So I'm going to pour this in here. Isn't that pretty? Really beautiful. And then let's just toss it. And we still have some more items to add. The olive oil, some salt and pepper. Isn't that pretty? It smells amazing. So I'm going to start to add our salt and pepper. I'll add a half a teaspoon of salt. And then you'll want to taste it to make sure you don't need any more. This is a Sicilian olive oil, so it's a little bit fruity. Then we're going to add my seasoned rice wine vinegar. I love my seasoned rice wine vinegar. I think I put it on everything. And then I'm going to add a couple dashes of sriracha. There. And then some fresh ground pepper. And the salt and the pepper, of course, is to taste. And then you could change this up however you like it. You can switch out the mango for diced pineapple. You know, be creative. Use your favorite flavors, really. So the shrimp and the scallops were cooking in the lime juice for 2 hours in the fridge, right? We've tossed it with all the salsa ingredients. I've tasted it, but it definitely needs a little bit more salt. So that's wonderful right now. I'm gonna put it back in the refrigerator so all those wonderful flavors can marry now. And then we're gonna take it back out and we're gonna have it with our chips. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. It already is. Can't wait for you to try this. All right, I got the sombrero back on. I'm ready for the party. And this is absolutely amazing. You're gonna love this. I can't wait for you to go make it. Have a great weekend. Remember, you could find this recipe at thetravelingepicurean.com. Have a really great weekend. Adios.
introduction.
This is my friend Donald. Hi, Michelle here with the Traveling Epicurean. Today we're cooking drunk blondies.
Boy, Michelle, this is really going to be an education for me because you see, I've never cooked anything in my entire life, so
You're
I
gonna
really
love
want to learn.
these.
See, we would do a great job.
We would do a great
We
job.
would do a great job.
And can I put you in my show?
Oh, you could, I wouldn't even get nervous.
That's right. Today we're making drunk blondie bars. I know, is that name hilarious? Well, that's what we're making today. They're decadent cookie bars. Absolutely delicious. We'll serve them with vanilla ice cream, and then we're gonna make a bourbon caramel sauce to drizzle on the top of it. It's all so simple, so you better pay attention because it goes like that and you just might miss it. So come on over here and I'll show you what we're gonna need to get this going. So this is what we're gonna need to make our drunk blondie bars. We have 2 cups of packed light brown sugar, 2 sticks of unsalted butter, 2 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour with a teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 eggs at room temperature with 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I have a 1/2 cup of toasted coconut. I have a 1/4 cup of mini semi-sweet chocolate chips, a 1/4 cup of chopped pecans, 2 tablespoons of bourbon, and I have an extra 1/4 cup of toasted coconut, and I'm going to sprinkle that on the tops of our desserts. That's going to be so delicious and give it a little extra flavor and crunch. All right, so let's get the butter and the brown sugar and start stirring that up. Big bowl, I'm going to add the butter to the brown sugar, and we're just going to stir it until it's smooth. Almost like a paste consistency. It only takes about a minute, just like that. And then I'm going to add in the eggs and the vanilla. And the bourbon. Can't forget the bourbon. That's what's flavoring, along with the vanilla and the coconut and the chocolate chips and the pecans. I love all the flavors that go into this cookie bar. So look how it almost turns fluffy when you're beating in the eggs. Good. Now I'm going to set this aside for just a second. I'm going to whisk the flour, the baking powder, and the salt just so it's evenly distributed in the pan. And then we're going to mix this into the sugar mixture here with the eggs and the bourbon. It smells amazing already. That vanilla and the bourbon aromas. Oh, it smells incredible. Something about cooking with wine or bourbon. I love whiskey and mushrooms. All right, so I'm just gonna add all of the flour in there. That's a beautiful consistency. Once you don't see any of the dry flour, so now we're gonna add in our pecans. We're gonna add in our coconut. I love toasted coconut. Should get all of that out there. And then the mini chocolate chips. A 1/4 cup doesn't seem like a lot. Because they're so small, they really distribute nicely when you start to mix it up. These are the last of the ingredients. And I'm just gonna start to stir this just until they're combined. And then we're gonna pour this onto our parchment and get it right into the oven. Oh my goodness. That's it. Voila. We have amazing drunk blondies. Wait till you try these. Oh, that smells so good. Okay, let's get these into the baking dish. We're gonna line the baking dish with parchment paper. It really helps you to be able to get the bars out of the dish. And there's really no fancy way to do this. Just put it in there and then crumple the edges. Just like that. As long as you have it centered, the weight of the cookie dough is gonna hold it down. All right, so we're gonna start scooping this out. So I've got this wonderfully smelling dough that we're scooping into the dish. Oh my goodness. I know I already said that once, but it smells amazing. And I have an offset spatula. You could use a knife, whatever you wanted. And I'm just gonna smear the dough so it's even to the corners. Fantastic. I got these evenly spread out, just like that. I'm gonna get it into a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes. You want it a little bit golden on top, just really lightly. And while these are baking, we're gonna make that bourbon caramel sauce. I can't wait. Okay. So this is what we're gonna need to make our bourbon caramel sauce. We have 2 cups of sugar, 4 tablespoons of butter, a half a cup of water, a third of a cup of bourbon, a tablespoon of caro syrup, and a cup and 3/4 of heavy cream, which you do need to heat up before you add it to the boiling water and sugar mixture. Otherwise, the sugar will seize up and get a little bit clumpy, but you could always whisk it back into a nice sauce if you put it back on the stove. So let's get heating up our heavy cream, and I'm gonna get our water and our sugar and our caro syrup in a pan and start to bring that to a boil. So the drunk blondies are in the oven baking away, and now we're gonna make that bourbon caramel sauce. Oh my goodness, this brings it all together. I can't wait to show you how to make this. So we're gonna put the pan on high. I'm gonna add the sugar, the water, and the caro syrup. We're gonna bring it to a boil for about 5 minutes, and I'm gonna brush down the sides with a little bit of water and a pastry brush. And we're gonna keep cooking it until it turns this really pretty amber color. Just like that. Then I'm gonna add in the 2 cups of sugar and a tablespoon of caro syrup. And we're gonna let this come to a boil. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna give this a nice little stir just to mix the water and the sugar. And then I'm not gonna touch it. And it's gonna go for anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes, depending on how hot your burner gets on high. Everybody's burner is different. You really gotta pay attention to it in the last couple of minutes because you want it to be amber, not a dark amber, because if it's a dark amber, it's gonna end up smelling like it's burnt. Okay, it's coming to a boiling stage. I'm going to run my pastry brush that's been dipped in a little bit of water just around the sides. And then it'll be fine. I don't want to stir it, and I'm going to watch it for the next 6 minutes. All right, so we're getting close. It's turning like a blonde color, and it's going to happen quickly now. We've been going about 6 minutes. I'd say in the next minute, it's going to get a little bit darker color. It's almost ready. The bubbles get a little bit smaller when it starts to get darker. I'm gonna whisk in the butter. Then I'm gonna take it off the heat and whisk in the cream. All right, so it's a gorgeous color. I'm gonna add in the butter and whisk that in. Be careful not to burn yourself. It may feel like it's gonna clump up, but what you can do is put it back on the heat a little bit and keep whisking. It'll all melt back together. All right, I'm gonna take it off the heat again, and I'm gonna add in the bourbon. So I put this back on the stove after adding in the bourbon, and I turn the heat down though. Very important to turn the heat down, otherwise it will boil over. And I'm just gonna let it keep simmering like this with a small boil for about 2.5 minutes so it can thicken back up and the alcohol can evaporate a little bit from the bourbon. But it's looking really beautiful. And it won't boil over if you have it on the medium heat. You'll see the bubbles. See how they got smaller? And it's just getting more syrupy. And I'm about to pull it off right now. It's been almost 3 minutes. It looks gorgeous. All right, so look, I've just lifted this Drunk Blondie bar right out of the cooking dish. It's so nice and easy when you do it with the parchment like that. And now I'm just gonna be cutting different strips. I need to get 12 out of here, like that. So easy to cut. Let me show you what the center looks like. See along the center here, it's moist and decadent. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. All right, so here we go. We're gonna start building our Drunk Blondie Sundae. I'm gonna put a little dollop of that bourbon caramel sauce. Then I'm going to place the bar right like that. That's like a little bit of a glue. Then I'm gonna get a scoop of ice cream right on the top, just like so. I like to drizzle that caramel sauce over the top like that. Then we're gonna have some whipped cream, another drizzle, and then we'll sprinkle some of that toasted coconut right on top of there. But that's really beautiful. Well, I better have a bite soon because it's melting away. This is a decadent dessert. Oh my goodness. Wow. Amazing. And the best thing about this, it's a total make ahead. You can make the sauce up to a week ahead, and you can make the Drunk Blondie bars up to 3 days ahead. So it's perfect for a party. You've got to make this. I can't wait. Let me know how they come out. Remember, you can find the recipes on my website, thetravelingepicurean.com. Have a great weekend. See you next week. Ciao.
Thank you for watching The Traveling Epicurean. A special thanks to